Athletics will introduce our newest head coach to our women's basketball program. Our order of events will start with a greeting from University President Dr. Ronald A. Johnson. He will be introduced by Gabriel Hayes, Vice President of Philanthropy and University COO. We'll follow the program as printed. We'll have statements from Athletics Director Jalen Dawson, Head Coach Moore, and a community welcome. Once comments from everybody up here at the stage have been delivered, we'll open the floor for a public Q&A. Once the public Q&A has closed, we'll move Coach Moore up against the backdrop of the front room, and we'll have introductory interviews one-on-one. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Hayes, the floor is yours.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Clark Atlanta University. My name is Gabriel Hayes, and I am the Chief Operating Officer for Institutional Advancement and University Relations. I have been given the distinct honor to introduce the President of the University, Dr. Ronald Johnson, and I will do that knowing that Dr. Johnson is a man of dynamic vision, yet few words, so I will try to emulate that and go with few words as well. Dr. Ronald Johnson became the fourth president of Clark Atlanta University in July of 2015. Prior to coming to Clark Atlanta University, Dr. Johnson served as the Dean of the Business School at the Jesse H. Jones School of Business at Texas Southern University. Dr. Johnson's leadership is fortified by his executive experience in the world of investment management. In that world, Dr. Johnson has served as President and Chief Investment Officer of an asset management company, as well as he has held roles with the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, the International Monetary Fund, and the Board of Governors for the Federal Reserve System. The reason that we're here today is because Dr. Johnson has a deep appreciation for athletics, and he understands and appreciates that in order for the university to have a best-in-class athletic program, it first must have best-in-class leadership. That prescription led to professionals like Lynn Dawson coming in as the athletic director. It also led to dynamic leaders like Darryl Walker coming in as the men's basketball coach, which led them this past season to an SAIC championship. And so I think that deserves a lot. With that, it is my deep honor to bring forth Dr. Ronald A. Johnson, an advocate and ambassador for student athletes everywhere. Dr. Johnson.
Good afternoon, and I apologize for the delay. My wife and I just flew in on the red eye from San Jose. We were engaged in pulling together some beneficial relationships for the university over the last few days. And as to my sense of athletics, I'm reminded that many years ago now, in Houston, my wife was here. My wife and Dave Hayes, who worked with me in that investment firm, convinced me to do a 10K without any preparation. And all I know is that I did finish that 10K, and I wound up in a tub and in a bed for the next 2 days. I was just out of it. And so I have a great appreciation for what our young athletes are doing, because it takes a lot. It takes a lot. You have to be able to not only excel in your sport, but also excel in the classroom. We have been blessed at this university where we have more than 2/3 of our athletes with GPAs well north of 3.0. And that's something to be applauded. To be an athlete requires, of course, the development of skill, but it also requires the ability to focus and to manage your time. Athletes are, in fact, a prototype of what a true successful student should be, and what a true successful professional should be. And it's in that context that we are here today to talk about the new coach for the women's basketball team, Coach Moore. Coach Moore brings a high level of professionalism, a focus on what tomorrow needs, what needs to happen tomorrow, and also the heart of a person who cares about her team. She expressed that when she played basketball, and she expresses that in the context of being a coach at Clark Atlanta University. The selection committee did an excellent job. They looked at a number of people from across the country for this opportunity, and they landed with Coach Moore. I think that one of the things we should say is that she brings grit, she brings polish, and she brings a true heart for the student athlete. And you'll hear her in a few moments and see what I mean. So thank you all.
Ladies and gentlemen, today starts a new era in CAU athletics and women's basketball. I want to thank Dr. Johnson for his leadership and his directive for the type of athletic program he wanted to build. And today, Mr. President, I can say with all assurance that we are on our way. Excitement is building across our entire sports lineup. We are developing our capacity to win championships, graduate student athletes, and develop leaders. I want to personally thank the members of the interview committee for the work in this process. The committee included members from every facet of the university community. And I believe, and as you will come to understand, that their insight and counsel was invaluable. Our student athletes were a part of this process. 4 rising seniors on the women's basketball team had an opportunity to interview the candidates and gave their input, which I believe is vital in moving together. We searched for a coach who embodied the characteristics of a great leader, one that would select and recruit quality student athletes, train student athletes mentally, physically, and spiritually, equip them with a game plan to face the challenges of young adulthood, and influence them to take their rightful place as leaders in the campus community. We searched for a coach that was a fierce competitor. We searched for a coach whose sum of life experiences would serve as a backdrop for teachable moments. We searched for a coach who would uphold the CAU mission in that it transformed lives of students and their communities by preparing citizen leaders to be problem solvers through innovative learning programs. Finally, we searched for a coach that would address the needs of player and person. We believe we found such a person. And now, with its 2017 draft choice, Clark Atlanta University selects Yolanda Moore out of the University of Mississippi, 3-time All-SEC Conference player and 2-time WNBA champion. Please welcome to the podium Yolanda Moore as the new head coach.
Draft, they get a, when they select their team, they had a hat. I was prepared with my hat. But thank you so much to everyone for being here. I can't say enough of how just humbled I am by the opportunity to become a part of the Clark Atlanta University family and the Clark Atlanta University Athletic Department. I want to thank, first of all, Dr. Dawson for just seeing value in me, and then for Dr. Johnson for also seeing that value. And I want to thank a few people who have traveled here on my behalf. My friends Rusha Brown, she played in the WNBA. She's actually from Atlanta. And then my friend from Houston, we played together with the Houston Comets, Nyree Roberts, so she's here. And then my friend Patricia, she traveled all the way from Nashville in the rain to be here. So I want to say thank you to everyone. And I want to just say how welcome I've been made to feel throughout the process, even just the interview process. I felt so at home. Everybody was so nice and just so genuine. There was no airs, there was no false pretenses, just this is who we are, this is what we have to offer, and you know, if you're willing to come, we're willing to support you. And so it just made me feel like a family. And I can't say enough to Coach Walker, who has already been a tremendous help, and I haven't even, started yet. So thank you, Coach Walker, for your help. And then again, the women's basketball team, thank you guys so much for showing up, and the men's basketball team as well, and everybody who's here. And forgive me if I miss anybody, but I just want to thank each of you, Mr. Jordan, Kim, who's been such a doll and just been so helpful, Coach McCaskey, and everybody here. I don't have like a speech prepared. I usually just, talk from the heart. And I've been very fortunate in my life to have some great experiences because of basketball. I didn't come from, a whole lot of privilege. I came from Mississippi, where if you saw something that you wanted, you put your eyes on it, and you put your nose to the ground and you worked for it. You didn't make excuses. You didn't expect handouts. Whatever it was you wanted, you did the work, and you went after it. And I've learned throughout my life that whatever you put into something is the level of what the level of return. So high investment, high return. Low investment, low return. And just having been a student athlete who had the privilege and the honor to have a full basketball scholarship and attend, the University of Mississippi, I always felt like it was a privilege to be able to play, and it was a privilege, not necessarily a right. There's so many kids and so many players who wish they could be in your seat today, who wish they could come to college and play basketball, but for whatever reason, they weren't afforded that opportunity. And so you were chosen, and I always felt like I never took that for granted, and I don't take lightly the opportunity that I have to coach young student athletes, to coach women. I don't take it lightly. It's a privilege to be able to get up every single day and to teach life principles just using the game of basketball. I've learned that I thought up until last year that I was a basketball coach, and having had the opportunity to take a year off away from the sport and really do some self-evaluation and deep introspective research on myself, I found that I'm not I'm a basketball coach on paper, but I'm in the business of developing people. As coaches, we're in the business of developing people. Our job is to make sure that these student athletes, when they leave here, number one, they have their degree. Number two, they have all of the knowledge and all of the skills that they need to be able to go out into the world and compete at whatever level they decide they want to compete with. They want to compete at. It's our job to show them that the world is, whatever it is that they think that they can be, or whatever it is that they think that they can have, if they put in the work, then they can have it. But I think that they have to understand that it's totally up to them. We as coaches can only provide, strategies, and we can provide, skills, and we can teach you certain things, but I won't ever play a game. You guys are going to be the ones on the court. And so it's up to you to take all of the things that you've learned and implement them. And so we want to make sure that, or I want to make sure that you're able to take those skills that you learn as, discipline, teamwork, and overcoming challenges, and be able to apply those things in the real world, because that's where it matters. This time is going to fly by. I know some of you guys that are sitting here, you were seniors. You remember when you were freshmen, and the time flew by so fast. And basketball and sports is such a small part of, such a small part of who you are. And I don't take it lightly, the term student athlete. A lot of times we talk to the athlete, but we don't talk to the student. And that's the part that we have to be more focused on as coaches, to be able to reach them as people first. Because the technical and tactical part of the game, that doesn't really matter if you can't get to the heart of the person. and teach them to see the value in themselves outside of the sport. And I learned that the hard way. When I was done playing, because I played basketball for most of my whole life, and then when it was over as an adult, I had to sit down and figure out, okay, who am I without the sport? Because I didn't have anybody to talk to Yolanda the person, they only talk to Yolanda the athlete. And so I think that, as coaches, it's our job to take our experiences and everything that we've learned, shortcomings, successes and failures, and be able to pour into you to show you that, to help prepare you for life's challenges. And, I'm excited about the opportunity. I tell you, and I'm speaking directly to you guys and everyone here, but mostly to the team, because we're family now. And I know that in meeting you in the interview, you said that there were certain things that you wanted. You wanted to win championships. You wanted to, bring national attention, put Clark Atlanta University women's basketball program, in the national spotlight. Well, that doesn't happen just by osmosis. There are some things that you have to do. And success is not, it's a byproduct of doing certain things consistently, when no one's watching. And so I'm going to give the responsibility of you. If you say that this is what you want, the men's team is proof that it doesn't take a whole lot of time. It doesn't take 3-4 years. Coach Walker came in with the same set of guys that was here before, and it was just a mindset change. And so they're proof that excuses are off the table. They're living proof that it can be done. And so my goal is to help you guys to see that from now, today, right now, that it's there if you want it, but you're gonna have to go and get it. Success costs what it costs. There's no discounts, there's no shortcuts, there's no coupons for it, and there's no app you can download to get it. You're gonna have to go out and work for it. And my job as your leader is to show you, is to teach you strategies and teach you whatever it is that you need to know so that you can understand that it's there for the taking. And I'm just very honored to be a part of what's going on at the university. I'm very happy to be able to learn from Mr. Dawson. He has such a great mind and such a great, vision. And I think that everyone in the athletic department has bought into that vision, and everyone in the university, where Dr. Johnson is joining and making the changes to move the university forward, everyone has bought into that. And success breeds success. And we see what happens when everybody can get on the same page. And I'm just very, very excited to be in a place where women's basketball, women's sports is not looked at as second class. Women's sports are valued, and the same expectations that are on the men's sports to be successful is on the women's sports to be successful. And not just the expectations, but the resources are there, the human resources, the monetary resources, everything is there for us to be successful. And as a coach, I can't tell you how easy that makes our job. It really makes our job easy when you know that the support is there. And I know that the people here who are in this room are here because they want to see you guys successful. That's why they're here. We've all had our day. Anybody in here over 30, 40, we've all had our time. Now it's all about you. But again, I put the responsibility on you, and I challenge you, starting today, our season is going to be whatever it is you decide it's going to be. And our season is going to be a result of the work and the effort and the attitude that you guys could show for together. And I'm just excited to be a part of that. And I'm excited to serve as your head coach and, and watch you guys develop into, leaders in the community, and so that you can come back and give to this university and to this athletic program.
On behalf of the women's basketball team, I would like to offer this gift.
I like this.
And we would like to say thank you, and we accept your challenge.
Thank you.
Any media members, we are open for a public Q&A session right now. Before the first question, I did want to mention this earlier. The NCAA believes this to be the first time that a college program has a world championship player representing the head coaching seat for both men's basketball and women's basketball. Media members, ask away. Roy.
Good afternoon, Coach Moore. I am Roy Evans with the Black College Sports Network, the home broadcast of the CAU Panthers Athletics Department. One of the things that we know that the Panther Nation is looking into and they would like to know, who are streaming and watching now, what type of style are you going to be working with the girls? And what are you looking, what can they look forward to? as far as type of basketball?
Well, for me, I'm a very, tough. I was a very tough competitor. I believe in, just playing hard, playing fast, but being disciplined. But, I could stand here and say, oh, we're going to play 40 minutes, full court, 40 minutes of, pressure and all of that. But if we ain't in shape, we can't do that. We're not committed to doing that if we haven't put in the work. So, I would be remiss to say, I don't want to say, what the product is going to be or what kind of offense or what kind of defense we're going to run, because that's going to be up to, the players. I mean, my style of play is just competing from start to finish and being, I like an open, I don't like very controlled, robotic offenses where, you have to go to this space or this play runs this way. I like the freedom to be able to just play off of each other. Just open the court up and whatever you see, being able to understand and read the defense, understanding what you have and just play off of that. I think that it gives players more freedom to be who they are and playing to their strengths. But again, have to get in and see, who we have in the positions and find out what their strengths are each individually and then, form a team identity from that.
Thank you.
Any other questions from the media that are here? All right, at this point in time, we'd like to welcome everybody. We have a reception in the back. If the media members would like to stay up, here. We'll move Coach Moore against the backdrop. We can do individual one-on-one interviews at that time. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Sometimes